Meat bicycle!
Hello everybody, welcome back to another Ultimate Vault Hunter Mode Legendary Weapon Guide here on Borderlands the pre-sequel. This is the series where I take a legendary weapon from the pre-sequel and obtain it, tell you guys how to get it, have a look at it, take some stats and things like that into consideration, any other information, and just basically review it. So today we're going to carry on the legendary weapon guides, and we're going to be looking at a legendary laser called the Min Lighter. So this is quite an unseen legendary. A lot of people have never either got hold of this one, or just don't use it, or just don't know it exists. So quite interesting and completely different style of laser that I'm used to. And I'm one of them people that hasn't really got this very much in the game. It's quite a rare one really, so yeah, it would be good to look into. But yeah, without further ado, let's get on with the guide. So the legendary laser in question that we'll be reviewing is the Min Lighter. And first I'll start off by telling you exactly how to get it. Well, like many things in the pre-sequel, it is a random loot source legendary, and as you can see here, I found it in a vending machine. You can get it from any loot source possible, including the grinder and also vending machines, things like that. And you can also get it as random world drops from bosses like EOS, or even random world drops from ultimate badasses, things like that. Basically any source of loot in the game that drops legendaries does have the chance to drop this Min Lighter. So as you can see right here, I found it in the vending machine. It's quite cheap really, it doesn't cost too much, and yeah, pretty nice to actually look at, and quite an interesting laser as well. So without further ado, we'll take a closer look at this weapon. Well, here we are back here in Concordia, and this is what the Min Lighter looks like when you go to the overview screen on it. Like I said, quite a nice looking laser, and this actually came in Moonshine as well, this one. So pretty damn nice to look at, quite an interesting looking laser. Anyway, the Min Lighter is a legendary laser weapon manufactured by Tedior, and its red text says approached but never identified. The special weapon effects is its always shock, will consume 5 ammo per shot, has a slow fire rate, and shoots lightning slow bolts that bounce off objects and deal damage to all enemies that's near it in the great radius. Shooting a lightning ball with any other weapon results in a shock explosion, which is pretty interesting really. So it's a splash effect weapon, but also you can shoot it, quickly switch to like a fast firing SMG, and then trigger the lightning bolts to cause the shock explosions if you want to in mid-air. Any notes about it is the shock orbs fired by the Min Lighter stray very far from the crosshairs, making this weapon unreliable beyond close range, even as an area of effect weapon. The radial damage dealt by a still travelling shock orb is equivalent to about 3.5 times the listed damage of the weapon, but this inexplicably varies by 5 to 10% at different levels. Shock explosions created by shooting a shock orb deal about 15 times the weapon's listed damage in an area of effect about as large across as the area affected by an unboosted slam attack. The exact damage increase also fluctuates inexplicably between level brackets, but is generally between 15 times and 16 times. Quite a lot of information right there, but that is exactly what it is by. So basically, the still travelling shock orb, if it hits something, it's 3.5 times the listed damage, but if you shoot that thing in mid-air, it can go up to 15 times the damage, which is pretty interesting. A little bit of trivia about the Min Lighter. The name and effect of the lighter are a reference to the Min lights, an unexplained phenomenon reported in eastern Australia. The phenomenon was a strange light that would follow tourists' cars around. I've just done a bit of looking into this as well. I do suggest googling that. It's quite an interesting thing actually, but yeah, the approach but never identified is actually a quote about the Min lights as well, which is the red text on this weapon, so a nice little Easter egg in there as well. So time to compare it to another weapon. So I do this to actually review it against a similar firing or make of legendary, and I've decided to choose the laser disc to compare it to. Now the reason I've chosen to do this is there's most lasers in this game actually fire beams, whereas the Min Min lighter fires orbs and the laser disc obviously fires discs. So I just thought I'd compare the two together. Plus they are both TDR legendary laser weapons, so that was my planning for that. Both at level 70. As you can see, the laser disc is in stats wise a lot better in every single way than the Min Min lighter. So the damage is about, well, the damage of the Min Min lighter is 7,000, whereas as you can see the laser disc has 104,000, so it absolutely canes it in damage. But the accuracy of the laser disc is a lot more than the accuracy of the Min Min lighter. It really is one of the most inaccurate weapons you can use, the Min Min lighter. The fire rate is absolutely pants compared to the laser disc. Reload speed is exactly the same. The only thing that gives the Min Min lighter the edge is the magazine size, although the magazine size doesn't really matter because it consumes 5 bullets per shot. So although it says 32, you will only get about 6 shots off before you need to reload. But as you can see, the electrocuted shock damage on the Min Min lighter doesn't count for the laser disc because it isn't a shock weapon. The Min Min lighter always comes in shock. You cannot get in any other element. But yeah, there you go. That's just interesting to see. Two legendary TDR laser weapons. There is a big difference between them, really. So, as we always do, it's now time for me to go around, give this thing a try out, and let you guys know what I think about it. Well, unfortunately, this is not going to be the best, most enthusiastic or great review of a weapon that I've done so far in these legendary weapon guides. I'll be honest, this thing is completely pants to use a lot of the time. With a laser setup like a laser Wilhelm, it's not bad. You can get by with it, but only if you've got like the little shooting attachments that I've got, which is again a Wilhelm build. But also I've got Wolfenstein flying around helping me as well. Using this thing maybe with the Gladiator Athena with the Aspis Orb might help a little bit as well. But generally with any other character but a laser build character that boosts laser weapons and you've got a prismatic bulwark on, this thing doesn't do a hell of a lot of damage really. Maybe took it to the wrong testing ground here. These ultimates are pretty tough dudes and they just keep going and going. But you can see most of the time when you hit something, the orb just bounces off the actual person. It doesn't actually do any damage to them. The only way to really do some damage would be to fire it and then pull an SMG out and try and hit them. But again, this thing's so inaccurate, you need to be quite close range. By the time you've shot it off towards an enemy at close range, you haven't got time to change an SMG, so you're literally just banking on one of the enemies shooting it and exploding the orbs for you. But like I said, I got by with it, but I really would only recommend going for this weapon or trying to get hold of it for the sake of just trying it out, or just for a collection point of view, or the fact that you can just say you've got it. Probably one of the worst weapons in the game, I will admit. There's probably a few people out there that will disagree. They'll say, I don't mind it with this, that and the other. Feel free to educate me if there's any good techniques and ways to use this at all. Maybe shooting it off and then chucking a grenade or something, I don't know, to get those explosions going. But generally, as just a run around firing laser, it's absolutely crap. Firing from long range, you've got absolutely no chance. But if you get too close to people, then you're going to die, aren't you, really? So you don't want to be too close with a non-powerful weapon. If I'm going to go in all guns blazing to an enemy, I wanted to make in something fast firing like a Fatale or T4SRs or something like that. You don't want to be shooting a weapon that's got a 0.4 fire rate on it really, and when it does fire off it doesn't do amazing damage. But that's just my opinion anyway. Really hope you guys have enjoyed that. That was the ultimate legendary weapon guide for the Min Min lighter laser on Borderlands the pre-sequel. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of this gun down in the comments below, and yeah, for now I'll see you guys in the next one.